What is going on, YouTube? Patrick here. After Aaron the Picker was born, it's been hard for me to get out to garage sales, so I decided to go and hit a thrift store this weekend and didn't do too bad actually. I got to get back into being able to do these voiceovers. It's been a while, so I'm a little bit rusty. My wife and Aaron went out to they had to go to a doctor's appointment, so I had about 30 minutes to go and hit up this Savers. And yeah, so coming in, I noticed that the video games were a little bit more stocked than usual. So I headed right over and saw a couple that looked pretty interesting. Um, this next one here is the one that's Guitar Hero 3. Almost always grab that just because I'm so used to finding guitars. Now, that's not really true anymore, but I used to always find them all the time, and then I would need a Guitar Hero 3 to go with it, and sometimes I wouldn't have one. So I'm just so used to grabbing them. I think I did end up putting it back this time since I don't know the last time I actually found a guitar. It's been some time, you guys. So next stop, what do you know? Back to the electronics. Couple Connect units. I think I ended up putting one back just because I have a few of them in my inventory right now. There's also this little PC joystick here. I did end up putting that one back as well, but you guys know the rule. Put it in the cart, look it up in a little while, and then decide to buy it or not. There's been kind of, I don't know, some crap. Donations have really slowed down during the summer. Not surprising. People are having tag sales right now. People are having garage sales, right? That's what we call tag sales or garage sales in Connecticut. That looked interesting, right? Brand new and sealed. There's a PS2 controller. I think they wanted $5 for it. I can't remember if it was first party or if it was a third party, but I put it back, so it must have been third party. You can see though, there's just not great stuff on the shelf. There is at least stuff to look at. The last time I actually went to this, which was after this, there was just nothing. So really depressing to do that. This looked interesting. I've sold a few things like this over the years where it'll display what you put underneath it up on the wall, and then you can draw over it or create a template for painting, that kind of thing. It looked interesting, so I put it in the cart. Didn't end up picking it up though. There's also a couple dance mats here that I looked at. Um, those have some value, maybe like $15, maybe $10 to $15. Just wasn't really in my realm of what I wanted to pay. You can see there's a nunchuck for a Wii as well. I think they wanted $5.99 for it, which again, that's not the best price for a nunchuck unless you need one. I was opening this up just to see if maybe it was new on the inside, then it might be worth picking up to me. But as you can see, as soon as I open it up, it looks like it's not used very much, but it wasn't just sealed inside and there was no game. And I was like, okay, this is probably just going to stay here. I think probably like there's definitely profit to be made on these things, just not really what I'm looking to pick up right now, right? Like I've been having a hard time getting things listed. I'm trying to get into um, this new process of having Aaron here and not getting 8 hours of sleep every night, and right. So I'm trying to find stuff that's easy to list, easy to ship, brand new. My profit ideas are kind of all over the place right now. So I've been listing a lot of small stuff. I've been really focusing on books. Um, my sister-in-law Natalie just gave me a bunch of her stuff to list, so a bunch of video games and some Disney Infinity. So I'm working on that stuff for her. I did check out those golf clubs, and I saw one that looked interesting. So I'll probably later in the video come back, and you'll see what I end up looking up there. There was a couple interesting things here in the sporting goods. There's a Zumba kit right there that I do end up putting in the cart. Normally, I don't even pay much attention to these because they're used, but I did notice that it was at least partially new in there. So I was like, all right, that might be worth picking up this time. Unfortunately, there was no DVD in there, so of course put that back. You guys have, if you guys have watched any of my videos, I don't tend to pick up a lot of shoes. I did see these there that looked like some of the ones I've seen other YouTube pick up, but I picked it up, looked at the brand, didn't recognize it, put it back. Let me know down in the comments if you think I should have picked those up, if there was something that you would have picked up potentially. So next stop, back to the toys. Just take it all in. Look at how few toys there are in the Savers. I can remember what even just a few months ago, these pegs were loaded with toys. Now this is interesting. What I'm holding here, these are Beyblade accessories, and I'm checking to see if there's any Beyblades in there, and I don't recall if there were. I did end up picking it up though because actually the last time I found Beyblades, they had separated the accessories. So I was like, well, at least I'll pick these up, and I'll have them if I find any more Beyblades, which I will find. And if you guys aren't looking for those, definitely you should put that on your list of be on the lookout or bolos. They can be worth some serious money. There's some Skylander portals, right? Those are usually a dime a dozen, so don't even really worry about those. I would imagine at some point they'll go up in value again, but not right now. So the Beyblades, the accessories actually may be worth some money on their own. I did do a couple of comps, which I'll show you at the end, since I did end up picking these up. We're gonna do something a little bit different with how I do the pickup videos, right? I normally would do a separate vlog. I just haven't had the energy to do a separate vlog lately, so I'm just gonna try and do what some of the other YouTubers have done, where they do the haul at the end of the video. So stick around and see what I picked up. It wasn't a ton, but I think you'll find that I did pretty well this time. So headed over through the bigger toy section. I haven't really found anything there in ages. I don't remember actually checking that to see if it was worth anything. I did put it back. Uh, I don't know if I was just like I'm worried that there's pieces missing or what, but it looked kind of interesting. Even watching this with you guys right now, I'm like maybe I should have comped that. Wow, I'm spending a lot of time making sure that there's no Jumanjis in there trying to taunt me into putting them in my cart, aren't I? Next stop was over to the kitchen stuff. I found a couple things here recently that I did pretty well on, so I'm always looking for that next pickup. I tell you what though, even just looking at this in the video right now, I can tell that there's just not a lot on the shelves. Um, I'm noticing that Revereware, at least in other YouTubers' videos, isn't as popular as it was just a couple of months ago. And I'm wondering if the bottom has fallen out in comps right now. And I'm not really sure. But I know that this Savers, whenever I find them here that are in good shape, they tend to price them pretty high, between like $10 and $15, which takes all of the profit margin away for me. Like especially if they're going to sell only in the $20 to $30 range, like that's just not really worth it anymore. Now you can see I'm looking at some Corningware there. Always trying to find something interesting, right? I had studied a bunch of the brands a while back just so that I can have an idea, and haven't really found a lot lately. I was hoping that studying would pay off. So far, not. Mostly, what you find is much like any category, it's just a bunch of stuff that's like just not worth a lot. But now that I have my list, at least I can check it against that list. And when I do come across it, because at some point I will, I know that I'll find some good stuff at some point. So headed around the corner here, these are all the little kitchen gadgets and coffee makers and stuff like that. I have not found anything in this category in a while that was worth anything. I think the last thing I had got was that Black& Decker Space Maker toaster oven, which did really well. And then before that, I had found a bread maker that had done pretty well. I think the bread maker itself didn't work, but I sold the pan and the paddles for a good amount of money. So I did a second pass of the video games just to see maybe if there was something that I had missed earlier. Uh, there's not. It's exactly what you guys would expect to see in the video game section. It's a bunch of Modern Warfares, it's a bunch of sports stuff, just a bunch of common titles. And even though Savers wants probably $2 to $4, just not worth picking up at that price. Maybe at $1, if you could get them that cheap, then maybe there'd be something good there. But $3 or $4 is definitely not worth that much. You're not going to sell it for that much on eBay, that's for sure. So headed around the corner, and I'll do a little bit of fast forwarding here in a second, but I think I did end up putting something in my cart like right away, so I'm not going fast just yet. So I saw this AC adapter for a Bose, so that went in the cart, and I did look it up. Some of the Bose AC adapters can do really well. Some of the different Bose systems, right? A lot of times you're going to make more money if you part the whole thing out than if you try and do the whole system at once. Oh, I slowed down. There must be something good back there. I noticed there was an Xbox connector there, so like almost like a controller connector for original Xbox. So I was like, okay, that looks interesting. And it's a little Pelican wireless dongle, and then there's actually an Xbox memory card in there, which the Pelican connector itself isn't worth a ton. Again, I'll show you the comps at the end. I did end up buying that. But it's the memory card that actually was the big moneymaker in there. It's going to probably go $15 to $20. So whatever that was, the price, I think it was, I don't know, $4 to $6, right? You're going to do pretty well. You're going to sell the entire, whatever you pick up there for probably at least $20. So $3 to $6 is probably a pretty good price. All right, so finished over there. I saw this whale and he looked pretty interesting, but he was obviously supposed to go on a stand of some kind. And I was like, he's interesting, but not interesting enough to look up. So I put him back. I'm always just making sure to check everything. I know I've even left some stuff behind that after I picked it up and checked it that I was just kicked myself. I'm like, oh, why didn't I buy that? I'm sure you guys have all been there too. Sometimes you're like, at the time, you're like, oh, $10. I don't know. Oh my Lord, that's a lot of money. But then you get home and you're like, that was a fair price. I should have bought it. So heading around the corner, gonna go down some more of these hard good aisles. I'm always looking for like those wooden desk boxes, like the two-tier desk boxes here. They're in-out boxes. I don't know how to describe them exactly. I haven't found one in a while, but I'm sure I will again. The next style over here, this is like kitchen accessories, I guess. So a bunch of jars. Behind me there is a bunch of like salad bowls and just nice platters, that kind of stuff. So I don't think I've ever bought anything from this aisle, but I always go down it just to see. Maybe one day I'll find something that'd be interesting here. Um, Part of it is just, walking through the store on a Saturday morning and just having fun, right? So like I really just enjoy just going through the store methodically, looking up stuff. I guess I had missed that on camera. I had picked up that Dunkin' Donuts mug earlier, and after I got it in the cart, I realized it was beat up, you guys. I don't even know if I would have bought it, but I was like, I haven't found a Starbucks mug in a while, so I was like, let's just put it in there. So looking at the plates, this was one of those sections where I put something back that I shouldn't have. So I saw that pattern there and it looked interesting. And for whatever reason, I didn't like that brand at the time. I don't know exactly why I didn't like the brand. I didn't even really look at it in preview mode right now with you guys to comp it. But probably I made the right decision. There's always lots of interesting stuff. There's a plate up on top that they've actually like put up to display. They must have gotten a huge collection of that stuff in. I've seen it in a couple other spots already in this video, so they must have gotten all of the different platters and bowls and you name it. I don't know. I still haven't bought any of this stuff in the flatware. I don't know if that's even what you call this, like plates and bowls and stuff. I don't know that I ever will. Hopefully, at some point, I'll find something that's worth picking up, or I'll just continue to learn the category until I can find out more what to look for. Which, always a good thing if you can become familiar with the category. It makes things a lot easier, right? Otherwise, you're just buying stuff and not doing well on it. I have had a couple of good pickups over in this book section recently, so I was really, really been excited to come and see it. You guys can even see there's actually a couple of Harry Potter books up on the shelf right now. Um, I've been trying to put together a paperback set of Harry Potter for a while. Have not had much luck. I've gotten almost all of it, I think, but those books, I think book 7 especially, it's just really hard to come by. So I may end up putting together, 1 through 6, something like that, maybe a 1 through 5 set, and putting that up for sale at some point. I'll probably just leave it in my storage unit for now. It's not taking up a lot of space. And then I've also been trying to put together a hardback set of really beat up ones and found out that those actually can do pretty well, which I was really surprised about. And then heading around the corner here, this is more of a younger kids books. Like that was young adult, then this is more kids. So over here, you're going to see things like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, a few of those types of series. You probably would find your Goosebumps books over here too. Now, of course, I don't know about your savers. There's Goosebumps right there. I don't know about your savers, but these are priced. I think that was at $3.99, or maybe it was $2.99. It's right. There's just no profit to be made at that much for Goosebumps. Right? I think you could, on a good day with Goosebumps, you can get $3 or $4, and that's on a really good day. You want to get them for a quarter, right? Maybe 50 cents. So anything a dollar and up is just not going to be worth it. So I headed around the corner here. This is the sci-fi and fantasy shelf. You're going to find your Stephen Kings here. You may even find comic books if they have any of those. And then this is my jam, right? So I like reading this stuff. So I always take a look through it and see if there's anything interesting. Occasionally, I'll find a hardback version of an author I like, and I'll pick that up. And even sometimes I'll find a hardback version of an author I like that I'll flip. So, like I said, over to the golf clubs here. There was this, not a set exactly, but there were these pings that stood out to me. And I don't know much about golf clubs. I'm still learning this category. But I was like, Ping is one of those brands that people in other YouTube videos, on other YouTube channels are buying. So I comped them and it looked like they were selling pretty well. Then I realized, wait a minute, I can actually see these brands really good as compared to all the other golf clubs. And I noticed that these are lefties. They're left-handed swing. And so I had to recomp them. And even still, you guys, it still was a pretty good deal at I think they're $2.99 each. Last stop of the day, actually, I headed up to the case at the front of the store, and a couple interesting things in the case. The prices on the case lately have been really bad, you guys. They are really going high. I think that they've just started to get wise that people like me are coming in here and making money off of stuff. You might see on the left side of the screen there that there are two Wii's that are sitting up on the shelf. And I can see from where I am that one of them is priced at $29.99. So I definitely got the attention of one of the folks that works here, one of my friends actually. And she pulled it over for me. And so you'll see that in a second. The other one up there is actually priced at $49.99. And I think that one had controllers with it. I think that's why they priced a little higher. And right? I think $50 is just going to be a little too much right now for the Wii. Maybe last year, right? It was a pretty good deal. But this year they're selling for like $80, something like that. So 50, even with 20% off, I'm going to get it for 40. That's going to be tough to turn it into $80. But this one at $24, right? Like not too bad. All right, so getting into the comps, I did pick up this Ghostbusters. You can see up on the screen that this wasn't a good purchase. For some reason, my memory was telling me it was going to be at least a $7 game, and there is one in this list of comps here that's $7 plus shipping, but you can see the rest of them are like $6, $9, $5, and that's with free shipping. So like really not worth a lot. Then the Connect device you can see here without any games, you can see they're selling for about 18, $19, something like that. And then with a couple games, you can see it's $28. So like that's about where I want to price it at, is using the $20 to $25 range. So I think they were $4.99, getting a little bit priced out at that point. Moving next over to these Beyblade things, I did a quick search just to show you guys some of the stuff. I don't think this is what mine's going to be worth, but you can see that there's definitely a lot more than I was expecting there to be. Uh, I was thinking I'd just toss this in the drawer. So I don't know. I may put this up at like $30, $40 and just see if it sells. We shall see. We shall see. And then the next item was that Pelican Spirit 2 dongle to go into the Xbox. And you can see there's a couple solds here, not for a lot of money. I will probably put it up for like $10.99 with free shipping, something like that. See if it sells. I'm not super um, positive that it's gonna sell, so we'll see. It's for the amount of money it's worth. It may not be worth the time. We'll see. But here's some comps on that memory card. You guys can see it's 20 all the way up to like $26. So I would probably price this on the high end at probably like $22.99 with free shipping, something like that, and then just let it sit until it sells, which it probably will within a month or so. And then the second to last thing, I didn't do all of the clubs for you guys, but here's the wedge. This is what I've listed it at. So this is the wedge. It's a Ping left-handed G15. It's got a white dot. I didn't even know there was anything about these dots. The white dot is not as desirable as some of the other colors, but still not too bad. And you can see I priced it at $35. I've got some of the tubes still from the post office that they'll ship in without any issues, so very easy to ship. And I think the rest of them are going to be in that range too. It's probably going to be about $25 to $35 a club, right? So like I paid, I think $15 after my 20%, and for 6 clubs at that amount of money, it's going to be like $150 to $200. So great, nice little pickup for me. Very happy to get it. And then finally, you guys know this one already. Here's the Wii. I tried to find a couple that were in very similar condition, and you can see that the $24 isn't a bad price for it. I'm still going to be able to at least double my money on that. What I'm going to do though is bundle it, right? I've got a bunch of Wii games. My sister-in-law Natalie gave me a bunch to list for her. I already have one other Wii, and I've got a bunch of controllers and stuff too. So I'm probably just going to create two bundles with all of her games and with some of the other games that I have, and just list those for sale. And I should do pretty well, probably closer to like 100 or a little bit more. We'll see what's all in her bundle. So that's going to do it for this week, you guys. If you're interested, please smash that like button, and then if you feel like it, also subscribe. If not, don't worry about it. Once again, my name is Patrick, and thank you very much.